Racing in Paradise. Turf Paradise opened in 1956, and since that first year, they have contested the Phoenix Gold Cup. Today, that tradition continues at Arizona's biggest day at the races. And for the first time in 1991, hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you on our Budweiser Racing Across America series again here on ESPN. The Phoenix Gold Cup, part of our 28 race schedule that will take us racing across America and beyond. This year, one of our headline events, the Irish Derby, the Budweiser Irish Derby from the Curragh outside Dublin, Ireland in County Kildare. Our race schedule today, a doubleheader of racing action for you. Let's take a look at the card. It starts with a replay of yesterday's Fountain of Youth Stakes, a major Kentucky Derby prep race in Florida, a Grade 2 event there. And then live here, the Phoenix Gold Cup. Let's take a look at our race conditions here this afternoon now. The Phoenix Gold Cup in its 36th running is a Grade 3 event. It is Arizona's only graded stakes race, $100,000 guaranteed for the sprinters 3 and up, going 6 furlongs. And many sprint stars have come but failed to conquer here at Turf Paradise. How about last year? Olympic Prospect, the short price favorite, and he was nowhere near the end. And others like Chinook Pass, like Fighting Fit, many of those, Sunny Blossom as well, came here and didn't fare so well. Let's take a look at now our track conditions today. As usual here in the Valley of the Sun, it is fast and the Chamber of Commerce will love it this afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-80s, a light breeze blowing, an absolutely perfect day for racing here in Phoenix. Well, now let's get a look at that 1991 Phoenix Gold Cup field and some reflections on some great sprinters of the past from our colleagues down in the walking ring, Dave Johnson and Frank Wright.
And a perfect part of the country for our sprint today here in the Southwest, where the racing is so speed-oriented. In fact, Frank, when people think about sprinting, they think about speed.
Well, speed is the most important asset of the racehorse. He can have the courage of Alidar and Affirm, the soundness of Kelso, but without speed, what good are they to him?
And I'm a speed handicapper, so for me, short or long, I'm forgetting about the breeding lines and the trip handicapping. I want to know how fast that animal can get around that oval. And in a sprint, there must be some physical clues.
There's a prototype that most horsemen agree upon. The typical sprinter has a short back, well muscled over the top of it. His hind leg isn't very busy, usually straight to the ground. His front is kind of wide, like a typical quarter horse. Have you ever seen any fellas fit that description? Could hurry a little?
How about in New York? You remember Duck Dance. Oh, he was fast. In fact, he became a sire of quarter horses, and out on the West Coast we had Chinook Pass, who was odds-on in this race in '83, but was off the board, and another fast one called Hawkins Special.
Very quick, and how quickly you forget. Partner, in 1974, we covered the Sprinter of the Year, Forgo.
And you know, that proves a point, Frank, because Forgo won his sprints, the Vosburg, for instance, the same way he won the Brooklyn, coming from way off the pace. But we'll be talking about the style of sprint racing just a little bit later in the show. Frank, as a trainer, what was the best sprinter you ever trained?
I had a horse in New York named Nice Catch. He won the Rose Bend and the Westchester. He could go an 8 and change over those sandy courses.
But now, did you train that horse any differently than, let's say, Adept, who was also in your barn at that time?
I did, and I think most horsemen would agree on this. You train the sprinter with more short wind sprints, a lighter schedule, so that he's more eager and stronger.
Well, as usual, we have a mix of local stars and some invading speedballs from California that make up our dozen this afternoon. Let's take a look at the full field with jockey assignments and the weights also listed. We have Faro at 12-1 with Flavio Martinez, Tin Horn with Chance Rollins at 50-1, Mr. Bolge with Corey Black at 7-2, Frost Free, the starting morning line favorite, 9-5, as you see, carries 124 pounds, most of that being Julio Garcia. The 5-horse is Answer Due with Russell Bays at 5-1, a 30-1 shot, Excess Energy with Alfredo Guerrero, 110 the weight. Breeze and Lad with David Lidberg is at 10, Semi Vicious with Vince Guerra at 20-1. The 9-horse Master Dad, Ray Sabile in for the ride, 20-1. Shamshoon also at 20 with Dale Bays, Due to the King at 5 with Al Cortez, and Raise a Kitten with Sam Krasner at 30-1. Paradise and our coverage of the Phoenix Gold Cup, but time to take a bit of a diversion. Let's get on the road to the Triple Crown. I know many of you are looking for a Kentucky Derby horse of your own. You know, in the entire decade of the 80s, not one time did a Winterbook favorite win the Run for the Roses. You have to go back to 1979 in Spectacular Bid to find a horse who was the early favorite who captured America's most famous race. Well, this year we have an interesting early favorite. It's Fly So Free. He took the Breeders' Cup Juvenile as a 2-year-old last fall. He's the heavy favorite. He won one race prior to his appearance yesterday in the Fountain of Youth Stakes, and he was the 1-2 choice there. As bonus coverage on our broadcast, take a look at the field, and let's bring you the 1 1/16 Fountain of Youth Stakes from yesterday's Gulfstream Park card, as called by Ross Morton.
They're off in the 45th renewal of the Fountain of Youth Stakes. And Tustanucci is out quickly on the outside, up after the lead. Moment of Truth second. Fly So Free in on the rail is third. Subordinated Dead fourth, and Oregon up on the outside with the pacemakers. They move into the clubhouse turn. Moment of Truth and Tustanucci. These two out duel on the front end. Oregon is tucked back in third, along with Fly So Free in on the rail. Then there's 4 lengths back to Hansel. Between horses, Sir Bordeaux, Subordinated Dead, and on the outside, Gizmo's Fortune. The first quarter, a good 22-3. Play move up the backstretch. Tustanucci now puts the head in front. Moment of Truth is alongside second. Oregon right there, 3 parts of a length third. Fly So Free, a close-up fourth on the rail. Moving through between horses, Subordinated Dead is fifth. Gizmo's Fortune on the outside, sixth. Hansel on the rail is seventh. Sir Bordeaux was alongside eighth. Then there's 3 lengths back to Kyle's R-Man. And Eastern Dew trails. They went the half, 45 and 4. They moved midway on the turn. On the outside. Fly So Free now comes on and takes the lead, but still running easy on the front end. Has it by a length. Moment of Truth is second. 3 lengths to Gizmo's Fortune. Oregon dropping back and Subordinated Dead. They turn for home. The Eclipse champion with Jose Santos roars into the stretch. Running easy on the front end and has it by 3 open lengths. Moment of Truth is second. There's 4 lengths back, Subordinated Dead in Oregon. They come to the wire. It's Fly So Free, a romping winner, going away by 4.5. Moment of Truth second, and Subordinated Dead.
And here's the complete order of finish. Fly So Free next scheduled to compete in the Florida Derby at Gulfstream on March 16th. And maybe we should note that even though Fly So Free won by a widening 6 lengths, Santos never let up on the Scotty Schulhofer-trained colt. And if your horse didn't win the Fountain of Youth, don't give up on him too quickly. There's a bit of a jinx connected to that race. Only 2 winners in the past 25 years have won the Fountain of Youth and then gone on to win the Kentucky Derby.
Well, Dave, as we go to the break, we want to take a moment to remember our colleague Pete Axholm, who died February the 2nd. The Axe always gave us a special edge. He loved the sport of kings. He'll be missed by all of us who work with him in our Racing Across America series here on ESPN.
The Gold Cup pace setter is likely to be local hero Breezin' Lad. He's won 20 of 34 starts, usually in front all the way.
That's what he likes to. He likes to be on the lead. He really does, you know. And he likes to run away from the gate, you know, and get out early. But, you know, we feel he can do either one, though. We tuck him back a time or two, and he's running just as good a race, you know. But preferably, he likes it up on the front end,
Californian Frost Free can also set a fast pace and has recorded 3 of his 4 West Coast Stakes wins that way. But his versatile style allows him to lay just off the leaders and still challenge in the drive. And then there's the stretch-running sprinter, typified by Answer Due. But trainer Lyman Rollins needed time to get the 5-year-old gelding the way he is today.
Well, we finally got this horse where he rates a little bit. As a 3-year-old, why, he was really a speed-crazy horse. We couldn't ever get him to rate, but now that we have him relaxing a little off the pace, he seems to be doing us a better job. I think he's a better horse now.
Answer Due had gained respect in the Midwest last summer, but was totally overlooked before setting a new American record in the Hollywood Turf Express.
All the comments was that had never won on the lawn. Well, he had run 4 seconds on the grass, and every time he himself had over 100 speed rating, even though he did get beat, so it showed he could run on the grass. Then we drawed the rail, and that was a good position over there, and luckily got through all the way and got up to win it.
This is Corey Black, good young California rider who flew in this morning to ride Mr. Bolge. And Corey, you've got some strategy you have to have in mind. You're inside of a tough, fast favorite. You're in a 12-horse field. What are you thinking about as you smile at me?
Well, my trainer just told me to just, take a long hold of him and just kind of let him place himself. He's blessed with a lot of natural speed, as most of these are, and I would think he'll be close to the pace early. There's a couple speeds outside of us, and the one-horse Pharaoh should go. So I, think I'll be in the, third, fourth spot somewhere in there, and just when we come into the stretch, just ask him for what he's got, and if he's got enough, and with a little luck, we'll get there.
You and the favorite are high weights. It's not as important in a sprint, that heavyweight giving away weight, is it?
I would definitely say it isn't as important as in a mile-and-a-half race when you start giving away 10 pounds going a mile and a half. I think it takes a lot more effect than in a 6-furlong sprint.
Well, good luck with you, the 124 pounds, and Mr. Bolge. And Chris, a word from a good rider on today's race.
And there is Mr. Bolge right now, but it's waiting to be tacked up. Corey Black will be joining him soon for the Phoenix Gold Paradise for the Phoenix Gold Cup. Let's give you a look now at the field. The current odds: Pharaoh at 30-1, Tin Horn at big price, Mr. Bolge at 3-1. Here's our favorite, Frost Free from California, 8-5. Answer Dues and bet down to 7-2. Excess Energy at 60. Then we'll have 12 today. Breeze and Lad at 4. Then big prices pretty much the rest of the way through. Raise a Kitten at 70-1. Well, one of the exciting new additions to our series in 91 will be using the handicapping expertise of racing's eagerly new awaited daily paper, the Racing Times. We had a chance to visit earlier with their editor-in-chief, former award-winning columnist with the New York Times, Stephen Crist, about the new paper.
Racing Times is going to be a brand new daily horse racing newspaper. Right now when somebody goes to the track, they have to buy a real newspaper to get their news, a racing paper to get their past performances, a set of sheets to get speed figures, maybe a tip sheet to get selections. We're going to give people everything in one package when they come into the racetrack: superior past performances and superior news and editorial.
It starts with the people.
The people who I've been able to put together, I think, are terrific. It's really an all-star team. We've got handicappers like Tom Ainsley and Steve Davidowitz, reporters like Dale Austin, Jay Hovde, Jay Privman, Jack Mann, and Mike Watchmaker. I'm really excited about the team.
What do you hope this daily paper will do for the racing fan and the racing handicap?
I think it'll give the really good fans and handicapper just a higher quality product. We're going to try to help them win a little bit more, and what we're also going to try to do is to get more people interested in the game. There are a lot of people out there who go to the races who don't buy any kind of a racing paper. We hope they're going to start buying the Racing Times.
And with us up here on the roof is award-winning journalist Jay Privman, formerly of the Los Angeles Daily News, now the West Coast editor of the Racing Times. And Jay, you saw our favorite, Frost Free Race in California, as the beaten favorite last out. Does that scare you?
Not really, Dave. I had a chance to go to Santa Anita the other morning and visit with his trainer, John Sadler. John laid out several reasons why he thinks Frost Free didn't run well last time, why he could run better today. First of all, last time he only had a 2-week break between races, didn't run well. He's had 6 weeks leading into today's race, more time to prepare, and he's training much better leading up to this race. Also, his last race was against Far and Away, a horse that nobody can beat in California. Far and Away the best handicap horse right now in California. Finally, his last race was at 7 furlongs. Today, he's back at 6 furlongs, a distance much more to his liking.
It sounds like you like Frost Free. Is that your pick?
I do like him best, Dave, but his price is kind of short right now. He's 9-5, and I'm afraid he's going to go a little lower than that. I also like one of the local horses here, that being Semi-Vicious, who's currently 16-1. So if I was playing the race, I'd make a win bet on Semi-Vicious, but since I do think Frost Free is the best horse, an exacta of Frost Free over Semi-Vicious.
Okay, Frost Free and Semi-Vicious from Jay Privman. Let's go back to Chris Lincoln.
All right, thank you, Dave. We'll be getting Dave's handicapping picks a bit later. As you see, the horses now, all 12 of them, leaving the paddock area, heading to the racetrack. You might notice the outliners all in bright gold is reflective of the Phoenix Gold Cup. It's 36th edition, and let's introduce you to the field now. And we'll start with a real veteran of this field. This is Pharaoh. He goes to the Phoenix Gold Cup post for the 6th consecutive time. He was second last year, just losing out on a photo. Pharaoh, by the way, is the all-time leading Arizona-bred thoroughbred, earnings of more than $450,000. The rider, Flavio Martinez, former child movie actor, under contract with Walt Disney, been riding since '76. The two horses, Tin Horn. Last start was for an $18,000 claiming price here. His rider is Chance Rollins, leading rider at Wyoming Downs. His father is a trainer. The three horses, Mr. Bolge. Mr. Bolge just won the Albany Handicap up at Golden Gate. Was out 13 months with a fractured coffin bone. Young trainer Iz Seguin says he's back. He's now now at 3-1. Corey Black, one of the top riders from California you saw Frank talking to earlier, is in the irons today. The 4-horse, a $50,000 Keeneland sale purchase, is Frost Free. He is the current favorite here. Favorite off wins in the Underwood, the Palos Verdes race, and he was 4th in the San Carlos. The jock, boy, and he's a hot California rider right now, Julio Garcia. You might remember him from Puerto Rico and Mr. Frisky, where he kept him undefeated through his early stages there. The 5-horse in our post-parade for the Phoenix Gold Cup is Answer Due. First start of 91. His last race, he set a North American record, winning the Hollywood Turf Express 6 furlongs on the grass in a rapid 1:07. He's gotten a check in 22 of 25 starts. Russell Bays, dominant riding champion of Northern California through the 80s, moved his tack to Southern California. Today, he's here in Arizona with us on Answer Due. The 6-horse, Excess Energy, the only distaffer in the Gold Cup. Tough lady. She has been in the money 11 of 15 starts in her career. A 5-year-old mare. Alfredo Guerrero is the rider, won the 80 Gold Cup, and last year won it with Master Dad at 42-1. The 7-horse is Breezin' Lad, just making the turn now. Bred by the McDermott Ranch of Texas. Breezin' Lad, a hot local horse on a 4-race win streak. In fact, has won 7 of the last 9. Was purchased by owner and trainer Joe Weaver as part of a 2-horse package for $5,000 at Ruidoso. David Lidberg, from a 3-generation family of top riders, has the mount. He's 5 for 5 on Breezin' Lad. The 8-horse. This is Semi-Vicious, one that Jay Pribman has his eye on. Coming off 2 straight allowance wins here, has been consistent, certainly, placing in 17 of 20 lifetime starts, mostly in allowance company, stepping up big time today. Vince Guerra is the rider, started riding at Prescott Downs in Arizona. The 9-horse in our parade, and the defending champion of the Gold Cup. This is Master Dad, bred by John Franks, a Keeneland sales purchase of a $10,000. What a bargain he was. Now has earned over $115,000. Won the Gold Cup last year, 86-20 payoff. Has been 2nd or 3rd in 2 local allowance starts in 91. Ray Sabile has just moved his tack from Southern to Northern California. Currently in the top 5 in the standings there, has the mount. The 10-horse from Ireland is Shamshoon. Sired by Sharif Dancer, has not lived up to that breeding. In fact, he was claimed last July for just $16,000. And he made his debut here 2 weeks ago in a $20,000 claiming race, winning his first race in this country. Dale Bays is the rider. Russell Bays' younger brother started his career in the state of Washington. Number 11, this is Due to the King. Shipped in from Southern California, 2nd in the Hollywood Handicap, 3rd in the Malibu, 2nd off that, 6th in his last start, though, in the San Carlos. Al Cortez has the ride, native of Panama, making his first Gold Cup start. Rounding out our field, the 12-horse, Big Price Raise a Kitten, a local allowance horse with no wins on his form all the way back to last May, asking a lot of the 6-year-old gelding today. Sam Krasner has the ride. He just won, by the way, his 2,000th race of his career, winning here at Turf Paradise on Friday. Well, that's the field of 12 for the Phoenix Gold Cup, and our favorite right now is Frost Free. He's being held at 7-2, and we come Gold Cup race. A full field of 12 broke from the gate in last year's Phoenix Gold Cup, with Olympic Prospect, the champion California sprinter and 1-5 choice, pressing the early pace. With the local favorite, the 1988 Cup winner, Pharaoh, in 4th position. As they entered the far turn, it was still Olympic Prospect and Pharaoh.
Turning for home, it's Olympic Prospect in front. On the outside of Pharaoh now charges up the challenge. It's Pharaoh on the outside, on the inside Olympic Prospect. Pharaoh now getting the lead. Pharaoh now drawing out by a length and a half. Olympic Prospect with Jay Zack on the outside. Master Dad closing with a fold rush. It's Pharaoh and Master Dad.
Pharaoh, making his 5th consecutive Gold Cup start, lost the photo to Master Dad on the outside. Master Dad paid $86.20, making it the 2nd year in a row that a long shot had made it to the winner's circle of Arizona's richest race.
This look back has been brought to you by Claiborne Farm, where for more than a century, a great record reflects our experience.
Due to the King. Another of the Californians seeking the gold here in Arizona. He's kept Regal company of late, chasing new West Coast sensation Farm Away. But before that, in the 7-furlong Malibu, Due to the King was forced to check early. Then he moved swiftly into contention at the top of the stretch and held third behind the well-regarded Pleasant Tap. The King's trainer, Jim Dotson, is pleased with the number 11 post, and he expects his charge to track the leaders through quick early fractions, much as he did while winning at Del Mar last summer in 1:08 2/5 at odds of 9-1. If that happens today, our Bud Longshot will collect plenty of tribute, and it will all be Due to the King.
Due to the King, our 11 horse, opened at 5. He's now 7-1, and we'll take that any time for a Budweiser long shot selection. Now, Frank Wright has joined me up here to get some of his comments as we take a look at the odds currently here. Pharaoh at 25. There's Mr. Bulge at 3, and Frost Free has now been bet down at 2-1. Answer Due also at 3-1. Excess Energy is a big price, and most of the rest of the field will return big prices, including again the Bud Long Shot Due to the King at 7-1. Well, Frank, you were down the paddock making some observations there. Did it catch your eye especially?
Yes, Mr. Bulge. He's a good horse, and he looks well, beautifully turned out. He has 4 bandages on. I've noticed all day here, Chris, bandages are not de rigueur as they are on the sandy eastern tracks. Very few hind bandages. He's protected all the way around, probably in deference to an injury that laid him up 13 months.
You know, the trainers, as we toured the barn the last couple of days here, Frank, they seem very relaxed, just like they want their horses to be right as they go to that gate.
Well, we're relaxed. It's a lovely atmosphere. The climate cool at night and beautiful in the afternoons, I think, helps everybody's attitude.
Well, let's show the people just what these thoroughbreds have in front of them now as we'll diagram the race for you. And take a look at this now as the Turf Paradise layout, Frank.
That's the typical braking place for a 3/4 of a mile race on a mile racetrack. There is one little different factor here. They go by the chute. As they make that turn you just saw, it is slightly eased for them. They brag about that here. It's like a railroad spiraling, and it makes the leads facilitate better, and it makes them run faster to the wire.
And it certainly makes for speed. They call them railroad turns here. In fact, some of the guys are telling us that riders, the horses don't even change leads going into the first turn. It's so smooth. They're the only turn in this 6-furlong race, of course. As you see, Pharaoh heading to the gate, the 1 horse will show you the track and the world record. Zany Tactics set right here at Turf Paradise in 1987, a blistering 1:06.4. And I know Dave Johnson was doing some handicapping yesterday, and it caught his eye how fast some of these fractions were for these sprinters on this fast surface. And with that in mind, it's time for Dave to reveal his handicapping secrets and his pick for the Gold Cup.
Well, I think the best way to look forward is to look back, so I'm going to take Master Dad, a real long shot. The 9 horse is at 40-1. I like the idea of him liking the track, and I like Ray Sabile in the irons. You saw Pharaoh move into line. What an interesting horse with 20 wins and 56 starts, and there is our favorite, Frost Free, and Julio Garcia is the rider. They load 2 at a time here, so we have a dozen of them over on the backstretch. What a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It is paradise. They're about all in now, and we're ready for the start. It has been very quick this afternoon, the times. $16,000 claimers went in 1:08 2 earlier today, so looks for some quick early fractions. The last horse, Raise a Kitten, is in line, and we're ready for the start. Phoenix Gold Cup 1991. And they're off. And Master Dad was away slowly. Now on the outside, there goes Breeze and Lad charging up to take the early lead. Excess Energy along the inside is second. From between horses, Semi Vicious takes over 3rd position. And then along the rail, Pharaoh is right there 4th. But as they move down the backstretch, the battle on the front end, here comes Excess Energy moving through on the inside, and Breeze and Lad. Those 2 match strides early. Now Excess Energy on the inside takes the lead by a head. Breeze and Lad is second by 3. Answer Due is racing 3rd. Pharaoh along the inside is 4th at this point. Semi Vicious is dropping back. Then comes Shamshun along with Due to the King. Along the rail, Mr. Bulge is moving up a bit, followed by the favorite Frost Free. And then on the inside, it's Tin Horn, then Raise a Kitten, and then Master Dad. As they straighten away in the stretch, Breeze and Lad on the outside has the lead by 3/4 of a length. Along the inside, Excess Energy, but here comes Answer Due. Answer Due on the outside to the front, and down down the stretch they come. Answer Due draws clear by 2. Breeze and Lad is second, and Excess Energy third. The Phoenix Gold Cup easily goes to the 5-horse Answer Due with Russell Bays. This horse set a track record last out on the turf at Hollywood Park and comes back with a smasher this afternoon in 1:07.2.
Thank you, Dave. Answer Due, the unofficial winner of the Phoenix Gold Cup for Lyman Rollins. He has won 3 Gold Cups in the past, 1959, 1970, and again 1976. So it's been quite a space since the veteran horseman Lyman Rollins has gotten one back to the winner's circle, the Phoenix Gold Cup. Looks like he did it today. The unofficial time, 1:07.2, quite a bit off the track and world record. Here it is, Frank. Let's take us to it and take a look at it again as they turn for home.
As they turn for home, indeed, the very fast Breeze and Lad was fighting for the lead with Excess Energy. They had set some vicious fractions, and I think Answer Due loved that. Lyman Rollins was hoping for a good pace, hoping he'd get clear. Here his rider very prudently pulls to the outside, and he just eats him up. Goes on to a very exciting victory. This horse who set a turf track record last time he ran.
Is a 5-year-old gelding, and the fractions 21-1, 43, and then 1:07.2 for Answer Due, our unofficial winner of the Phoenix Gold Cup. This is a California bred by Crown Breeders by Tagura Moo, and out of the mare Daisy Due, Answer Due, here to have the answer for all those questions. Could he win the Phoenix Gold Cup? Well, here he comes to the wire first in 91. In Phoenix, Arizona, and the unofficial results: Answer Due 1:07.2 first, Breeze and Lad second, and the 8-5 favorite coming in from California, Frost Free, running third. As you see, Answer Due benefited from that fast pace, 21-1 and 43, and that was just what trainer Lyman Rollins wanted. Dave Johnson's going to take us through the race now and show you how Answer Due answered the questions today.
And the first thing I think you should watch at the start of the race is the favorite Frost Free, who will be off slowly, and he had even more trouble at the 3/8 pole when he was taken up, so he really lost all chance. And the horse that I picked, Master Dad, was really out of the contest from the start. And Raise a Kitten also really didn't have much early speed. So as you see at the back of the pack is the horse I liked, Master Dad. But there, Frost Free, who was in a photo for the show, really recovers very nicely. Now the speed battle on the front end has Excess Energy and Breeze and Lad matching strides, and then from out of the pack comes the eventual winner, Answer Due, who certainly did benefit by those quick early fractions, 21-1 for the first quarter. So he was leading that second pack, and the meltdown obviously occurred with the front runners. Pharaoh on the inside is fourth at this point. Russell Bays, who was aboard the winner, Answer Due, for that trip over the sod at Hollywood Park, and he knows this horse, and he knows how the horse races, and he will tip to the outside, and the 5-horse under strong right-handed urging is going to pass by Breeze and Lad at the rail. Excess Energy will give it up, and the favorite, who was threading his way between horses, makes a good run, but no match for the winner, validating his last performance, showing that he is one heck of a sprinter. Here's Answer Due winning the Phoenix Gold Cup. Give him a speeding ticket and take your winning ticket to the cashier's window. Chris?
All right, there's a look at the winner's circle activity, Dave, where A. Melvin McDonald, chairman of the Arizona Racing Commission, is there to present the Gold Cup to Answer Due, and the winning owner, Charles Hyder from Omaha, Nebraska. I know they're watching this up in Nebraska. Nebraska horse has done well. Frank?
Well, this is David Ludwig, and he deserves credit for a very fine ridden race. He had the problem that riders do in a speed race of hooking somebody early on. You shook loose. Did you think you had a prayer to make it?
Yeah, I did. When we shook loose of Excess Energy, I had a lot of horse left. I could hear Russell behind me. I could hear the pack coming, and I had some horse, and he's a gutsy horse. He'll try when he's hooked for a second go, and he gave it what he had.
He's a neat little horse. Congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris, a good second, but he got beat by Answer Due.
Well, there's a veteran horseman, Lyman Rollins. You know, he's got to be happy. What a family. His son Bradley, a jockey, now trains. His daughter Roxanne is a trainer. Grandson Scott and Mike gallop horses. His daughter runs his ranch. His son-in-law gallops. His other son is a veterinarian. Time in 3 years. There's no long shot winner today. Answer Due. has the answers and returns 860, 440, 320, winning in 107 and 2. Breeze and Lance 720.40, and then Frost Free, the 5.7 exacta, $71.60. Here's the full order of finish now after Frost Free. Finishing in 4th place in the Gold Cup is Excess Energy, then Mr. Bulge. Farrell runs 6. Continuing on, finishing off through 12 here, Semi-Vicious. Due to the King, the Bud Long Shot is 8th. Master Dad, last year's winner, 9th. Razor Kitten, Tin Horn, and Sham Shun runs last. Out of the paddock now, and Frank Wright.
Well, that voice you heard is Lyman Rollins, a voice we heard yesterday, and he liked his horse an awful lot. Thank you for that tip yesterday. It was modestly done. Let's take a look at it here. It's the way you hoped. A fast pace, and you hoped that you'd get clear. Can you see yourself there behind the very quick fractions?
Yeah, right here I figured we was all right because they've set a fast pace, and we broke loose from the crowd, and I wasn't worried after that.
This is the ride of Russell Bays, and you must have been thinking how sweet it is, this pace, and I'm coming on.
Yeah, right about here. I was really liking our chances. This horse was running good for me. We had a clear shot out in the middle of the racetrack. No problems from there on in. I knew if he fired, we were home free.
And I got to say something, Russell, to the trainer. 2 months since he run this horse, he said, no, I'll train him and all the way, and didn't he do it?
Did an excellent job.
Congratulations to you, and thanks for your interview yesterday.
Well, we've had fun. It's really been a great having the ESPN here, and it's a great exposure for Turf Paradise, and it's a great race.
Thank you. Congratulations, Chris, from the winners. You heard it.
And for Lyman Rollins, his 4th Gold Cup victory here in Phoenix. Russell Bays, winner of more than 3,000 races, adds another great stake to his career. Just coming into the shot now, the 5-horse Answer Do, who would get to the finish line first here of the Phoenix Gold Cup. Well, it's been a big weekend of racing. In Florida, the 3-year-olds in the spotlight. Here are the spinners in the spotlight. Let's put it all in perspective now with Dave Johnson, and again with the Racing Times, Jay Privman.
And Jay, a handicapping question. Frost Free, the horse you liked, had a lot of excuses. Do you just go back with them next time regardless?
You have to evaluate every race day as it comes up. But I mean, this horse had legitimate excuses today. He broke poorly, tried to get back into the race on the far turn. He took up there, had to wait until the quarter pole to really be set down, and finished with a rush. He was finishing better than anybody. I think if he meets Answer Do again, it'll be a real close race, not like today.
And the line won't look too good on him last
No,
night.
it certainly won't. And that's one of the things you have to take into account as a handicapper, is to get that price, because it won't look as good as it actually was.
Now, we saw the Fountain of Youth earlier in our show. You've been watching the 3-year-olds on the West Coast. How about, are they as good as our East Coast champ right now?
Well, with the exception of Fly So Free, I think there are several good quality horses in California. Fly So Free is obviously the best horse in Florida, but there are a number of top 3-year-olds in California. Charlie Whittingham has Excavate and Compelling Sound. Of course, Best Pal, the winner of the Hollywood Futurity, and a horse coming up named Denard, who I think is one of the better ones.
Looks like a good road to the Triple Crown.
It sure does, Dave.
Thanks very much, Jay Privman of the Racing Times. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jay. Look forward to working with the Racing Times throughout the year on Racing Across America. And I know our colleague Frank Wright has some final thoughts. Frank?
We promised you speed. We gave it to you. 1/4 mile in 21 and 1, a half in 43, and the final time, 1 7 2/5, only 3/5 of a second off the world record that was set right here. A great accomplishment for Answer Do, and a wonderful game race for the local speed horses.
Well, some programming coming